Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us live. Okay, so a major event just happened in the Singapore crypto space, right? So Binance, the largest crypto exchange in the world by volume, of course, was ordered to cease offering these payment services to Singapore residents via their so-called their website, Binance.com, right? And that actually caused some concerns to a lot of Singapore users, right? Okay, so we see many questions popping up, in the Facebook group over the last, I would say 12 hours or so, because the news came out last night, right? Okay, so in our community as well, a lot of questions, and we even received tons of private messages to us about this matter, right? Okay, so therefore we decided to have this live session, okay, to address and also discuss some of these burning questions and doubts that you may be having, right? Okay, so I see some of you are with us live right now. So if you are with us, can you, give me some reaction so I know that you are here? Maybe just type in the chat box BSI. BSI stands for Binance SG Investor Group. Okay, or just tap on the like button, the love button, some response. So I know that you're right here with me. Right? Okay. Yeah. So without further delay, let's begin. Yeah. All right, so first up, just a quick disclaimer. First, so in so-called any investment, is imperative that you also do your own due diligence, your own research, or consult a, this licensed financial advisor, right? So we also want to mention that we are not a representative of Binance or its subsidiary. Yeah. So we are just giving our opinion, giving our views, right? Okay. So Binance banned in Singapore, okay? Or is it really so? Right. So let us look at it closely, right? Okay. So if we look at it closely, this is from the official this announcement in Binance.com, right? So they are saying that they will be seizing, or rather to seize the following products and offerings in Singapore. Okay. So if you look at this, SGD trading pair, SGD payment options, and removal of app, okay, from the Singapore iOS and Google Play Store and all that. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that we can actually still use the web-based so-called exchange, right? So the user, we log into our computer, on the browser and all that, we still can use that. It's only that the app is not available, so it will be slightly more troublesome to actually use it, right? Okay, so if we were to say that Singapore is banned Binance. Binance is banned in Singapore. Okay, so is it too harsh? Right, I would say I will not use the word banned. Okay, I will use the word remover of some services. Right. So let me give you an example right here. Okay, Hai Di Lao. Okay, so how many of you have gone to Hai Di Lao and have your lunch or dinner there? Can you type HDL? Okay, HDL in the chat box. Okay, or put a love button because you love this Hai Di Lao so much. Okay, so what has this matter got to do with Hai Di Lao? Okay, remember the good old days. Okay, where we before COVID-19. Okay, in Hai Di Lao, there's many other services. You can, for the ladies, you can even do some manicure for free, while waiting for your turn, because the queue was crazy long, right? Before that, you can also change this screen, your phone protector for free, okay, while waiting, right? So you can eat, you can also see the la mian performance, right? Okay, so doing that while enjoying your lunch, enjoying your dinner, okay? So, you can go to, this typically the sauce bar, okay? It's like a sauce buffet. You can take as much sauce as you like. You can take as much fruits as you like. You can take as many tub of the bean curd, the grass jelly as you like, remember? And also the ice cream and all that, right? Okay, so this was before COVID-19, but because of regulation, okay? Regulation, these are not possible anymore, right? Okay, so Hai Di Lao is banned in Singapore. I would say that's quite harsh, right, to say that. Right, so I would say Hai Di Lao has some services removed due to COVID-19 regulations. Right, does that make sense? Right, can we still go to Hai Di Lao? Yes, of course, right, because it's still open, but some services are not available. Right, so the next question is, hey, but I go because there's free manicure. I go because I can change my handphone screen for free. Okay, yeah. Before we answer this, okay, let's go back to Binance and crypto, right? Okay, so can we still use Binance.com? Yes, of course, but some services are not available, right? So next question, but Leslie, I use them because of P2P, and they have an app. Now I cannot use the app, so it's very troublesome, right? Okay, then what should you do next? You should ask yourself a few questions, right? Number one, assess what is important to you. Okay, is the Lamian performance very important to you when you go to Hai Di Lao? Okay, if it is, then you may want to consider other alternative, right? Maybe you hire someone to do the ramen show in your house. Okay, then you eat the ramen. I don't know, right? But if it's not, you think, hey, actually I go to Hai Di Lao because the food is nice, the environment is nice. I like how they make the mala pot, for example, right? And I like the services, whatever. Right? Not because really there's free manicure. Of course, that's a bonus. Is good to have, right? Okay, so that's what you need to assess. So going back to Binance, you still can use, I would say, 90% of all the services, all the function, like your spot trading, your future trading, or and your earn features staking and liquid swap and all that, right? So is the P2P super important? Is the app super important? Okay, if it is, then of course you need to assess, maybe I need to find an alternative. If not, continue using it. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. And what should we do next? Number two, of course, be prepared. Okay, because will Binance be fully banned? Okay, one day, maybe we don't know, right? Because nothing is, this what I call it, guaranteed in this world, right? So there could be only a 1% chance, 2% chance. Is still a chances that it could be banned. So it's always good to be prepared. So even before this, we have also always tell our community, and that's what we have been doing as well, to actually be prepared, right? To have all these different kind of exchanges ready, even if you don't use them. Okay, I actually have a lot of exchanges where there's zero fund inside, right? Okay, why is that so? If let's say there's a ban suddenly, right? Okay, typically, if there's really a ban, they will give you some time, right? It happens in the US, so they cannot use this Binance.com anymore. They are given time to actually transfer their fund to Binance.us, right? So they will not just ban, straight up, right? But if you are prepared, you have like 5 other exchanges, or even just 1 or 2. You are not so worried, at a point in time when that happened, right? Because you can immediately just transfer without having to wait. Sometimes when you open exchange, you need to wait, right? So of course, I would say be prepared, right? So what are the possible steps to take, right? So number one, you can keep your Binance, but have other exchanges and wallets ready, right? So even if you don't use them, right? So, but if you are concerned because you know that P2P is so important to you, that app is so important to you, that ramen show is so important to you, right? Then move to another restaurant, move to another exchange or wallet, okay? Make sense, huh? Right? Or you can also use a decentralized exchange, okay? Short form DEX, okay? Like Uniswap, PancakeSwap. Of course, that you will have to use a wallet, right? Okay, so the next golden question, okay, then how do I cash out? Leslie, I've been using P2P since day one that I started using Binance. Okay, it's very convenient, it's super fast and all that. Okay, so we have to accept that sometimes things changes, right? So we have to find alternatives, right? So you cannot force Hai Di Lao to do the ramen show for you, right? You find alternatives. I don't know, you play your YouTube watching it, then they serve you. I don't know, right? Okay, so just a joke, but you get what I mean, huh? Right, so of course, number one, if you are living, working in Singapore, you can use expert-enabled exchange. Meaning to say that you still continue to use Binance.com, for example, right? After trading, blah, 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 then you want to cash out. When I say cash out, I mean you change it to our Sing dollar, our currency, right? Okay, so it could be other currency as well, US dollar, whatever, but that's assuming SGD, right? SGD, then you transfer it to the so again, from Binance.com, transfer your crypto, okay, to expert-enabled exchange like Gemini, crypto.com, and you sell it to X1 and then withdraw it back to your own bank account like DBS, UOB, and all that, right? Okay, so I did not put Binance.sg right here because is, you know, we want to eliminate any sorts of implication because both, you know, Binance, right? So we do not put it right here. Okay, but typically Binance SG was expert enabled. I don't know if it still is at this point in time. Okay, but it's good. You can use Gemini, crypto.com, right? Okay, next step is if you have a multi-currency account. Okay, for example, an account that actually can receive US dollar. You can actually use the wire option. Okay, so some exchanges actually has this withdrawal function where you can use wire. Okay, use remittance. So Gemini is actually one of them that you can do that, right? Okay, and what if, you know, hey, I don't have a US dollar, I don't have a multi-currency account. Okay, the user DBS remit. Okay, I believe most Singaporean has DBS, right? So if you do not have, just open one very fast, right? So you can do a wire. Yes, so they'll wire it back to you in USD, but convert it back to SGD for you, right? Okay, so this method may not be the most economical, the most cost saving, but these are some methods that you can use. And of course, it sometimes takes longer when it's a wire. Okay, typically 2 to 3 working days, right? So, but as of now, these are some methods that we have been using and will be using, right? Okay, why do I say have been using, right? So I believe there are some seasoned investor in this group right here. You may have been investing in cryptocurrency, you know, way before, you know, before 2015, 2014, 2013. Okay, so if you have, can you verify for me that there was no XFR, there was no P2P? Okay, so how do we actually cash out money? We use method like this, right? So I think of it is it's not a big problem. Okay, if you know, but if you are very new because you only ever use P2P, then you may be concerned right now. So we understand that, no problem. Okay, so these are some methods that you can actually start using. Okay, so by the way, feel free to type in any questions you may have. Let me look at the comment. Okay, so far so good, right? Okay, so other exchanges that we have been using, okay, are okay. Of course, the mentioned before on the previous slide, Gemini, crypto.com, and those that are so-called non-expert connected, you know, are AAX, okay, FTX, Kraken, and Coinlist, right? So and there's actually a lot more, right? I think these are quite good, right? So you can go and do your own research on them, right? Okay, so what do we suggest, you know, for different people? Okay, so if you're a holder, you know, you actually don't really trade a lot. You are someone who actually buy, you know, because you believe in cryptocurrency, you believe in blockchain, you believe in Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever, Cardano, and all that. So actually, you buy and you don't really sell it, you know, for a long period of time, like for a few months, for a few years, just keep it. Okay, of course, number one, you can continue to use Binance because then you don't actually use P2P often, right? You don't actually look at it often, so you don't need an app, right? But if you feel unsafe, you know, unsecure, then we suggest actually Gemini. Why? Because it's well known to be one of the safest exchanges in the world. Okay, it has never been hacked before, and it's always aimed to be regulated. Okay, so in fact, they have license in Singapore, so you can eliminate that fear at least, right? Okay, so and yeah, they have an app. Okay, so if that's important to you, then yeah, you can use this Gemini. And if you use the active trader, which is the web-based trading, right? The fee I would say is decent. Okay, not super low, but I think it's lower than most of the exchanges out there, right? Okay, so this is Gemini that you can consider using if you are a holder and you're concerned that, you know, if Binance get banned, then I have problems, right? Or, you know, like earlier mentioned, be prepared. Why not open a Gemini first and, you know, keep it there, right? So yeah, we do have a promo link, not mandatory to use, but if you do use it, you get $10 worth of Bitcoin when you use this link. Okay, so maybe open, then get the free Bitcoins. Why not, right? Okay, so if you're a holder, right? So this is our suggestion, but again, do your own research and all that as well, right? So Yeah, and if you are a more intermediate and advanced investor, what is the suggestion is, these two that we are using, FTX and Kraken. Okay, so they are top 10 exchanges by volume, so I think they are pretty decent. Okay, so volume is one of the key things that we look at when we select a exchange, because if the volume is low, you may have problems selling it away, right? And then your money could be stuck. Okay, so volume is actually one of the things that we look at, and these two are in fact in the top 10 as of now. Of course, things can change along the way, right? Okay, so they have function like margins, derivatives, futures, options, and all that. So if you are someone who are using all these functions from Binance.com, you may consider looking at these other two. Okay, so Gemini will have all the typical function like limit order, market order, stop limit order, and all that. But of course, they do not have margin as of now, and all those derivatives, right? Okay, so if you are more advanced, this is what we suggest for you, right? Okay, and again, we have some promo link. In fact, this link where all links are inside, again, not mandatory to use. Okay, you can choose not to use them, no problem, right? So I will paste this in the copy and paste this in the chat box later as well. Okay, yeah. So in conclusion, okay, I would say Binance is not banned, okay, but it has some services stopped, okay, namely the P2P and app, okay. So if you read the announcement carefully, okay, read the announcement carefully, say SGD parent, okay, can you still use P2P and buy using US dollar? Okay, I'm not saying anything, but we will see. Okay, we will see, right? And you may continue to use Binance. Okay, but be prepared. Okay, by opening some exchanges, there are some suggestions we given. But of course, if you have your own other exchanges, that's fine as well. That's fine as well. Okay, of course, you have your own wallets, be it a cold wallet, hot wallet. Of course, in terms of security, there's different kinds. There's a difference, right? Okay, but in terms of what we are talking about right now, to move your funds away, then no difference. Okay, so you just have a wallet. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And of course, you can use a DEX. Okay, decentralized exchange. Okay, things like Uniswap and PancakeSwap. Okay, because this way you actually hold your own private key and all that. Okay, then you do not have to be so worried about all these regulations. Okay, and you may cash out using extra or wire methods. Okay, and other conclusion, in my own personal opinion and view, is that regulations can come in different form, right? In many different areas, not only in cryptocurrency. Okay, but is it good or bad? I would say both, right? Pros and cons. You have both pros and cons, right? Why would I say that? Because if you think about it, have you ever asked your friend to invest in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency a few years ago? Then they will tell you, oh, the one is not regulated, very dangerous. Later, nobody can help us if something happen. Okay, right now you ask your friend, hey, you want to invest? Don't want. The government is regulating it. They're clamping down. Okay, so what do people want actually? Right, so there's always two sides to the coins. I hope you agree. Right, so being regulated and getting banned, getting clamped down are two different things. So we must understand that as well. Okay, if it's no good, then just shut it down. Why they have all these regulations, right? It's actually to, I will say, I wouldn't say help. I don't know if I should use this word help, okay, but help in some way, okay, that people feel safer and all that, okay, and anyway, we cannot control what we cannot control, right? So we control what we can control by responding, right, to what is happening right now, and and act accordingly to what we can do and what we can control. Right, I hope that makes some sense. Okay, so if you have found that this session is so far beneficial and also help to answer some of the questions that you may have. Okay, again, give me some response by type. Maybe this time you click on the care button. Okay, and do help us to share this, to your own pages, to your own profile. That you may think that some other your friends or peers around may, actually benefit from this. Right, I hope that's okay. And do let us know if you have any questions. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Oh, now I'm trying to find. Okay. Okay. So see, I see most of you, having this Facebook user. It means that you have not given permission, okay, to to StreamYard to show your name, but that's fine. Okay, we will look at it from the actual Facebook page later. Okay, so I don't see any questions. I'm not sure if it's the StreamYard issues or you really have no questions. Okay, but we'll look at it later and reply you by typing, right? So with that, okay, let me just take a look one last round. Okay, I think we don't have anything right here. Okay, yeah. So with that, I would conclude, the end of this session, a very, very short session, okay, to actually address and discuss some of these concerns that people may be having about Binance.com. All right. So again, in conclusion, I would say it's not being bad, but rather some services has been restricted. So you have to assess whether are these services super important to you, or are you also concerned that, hey, what if right now it's only some services being removed? What if it's being actually banned 100%? Okay, so what should I do? So you should have some other exchanges, other wallet ready, in preparation, for an unlikely event like what we just mentioned. Okay, yeah, so there are some examples of exchanges that, or rather suggestions of exchanges that we use, and we recommend you can you can take a look at them. Not necessarily you have to use them, right? So I'll just paste all the promo link and all that in the chat box later, which you can refer to. But again, not mandatory to use. But if you do use, there are some benefit like some discounts off the trading fee, and sometimes you get free bitcoins and all that. Okay, but of course you need to meet some term and condition by the exchange, right? Okay, so with that, I will conclude and end this session, right? So again, if you do find this beneficial, do share it, out to your pages, to your friends, where they can also, benefit as well, right? Okay, with that, I will call this session end. Okay, so I'll see you in the next slide. Okay, see you. Bye bye.